March 23rd is now open. This meeting is called to order. Let's have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Ruben?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Where'd y'all go for finger?
Just, Pan, just have the record recall Mr. Kulunga is not here. He didn't call. Number 5.
Recommend approving the agenda of the rescheduled regular board meeting of March 23rd, 2010, with any corrections or deletions.
Mr. Sprint, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under Superintendent's Report A, Conference Presentation, the agenda should read as follows. Recognition of Destination Imagination students that participated in regional competition. Under 11, Consent Agenda, General Function, item number 15, we will delete pages 154, 155. Item number 17, we want to recommend approval of 6 certified and 4 classified positions at Veterans Memorial High School. And under closed meeting, A, Personnel Matters, item number 129, page 334 will be replaced with 334A, 334B, and 334C.
Also, I'd like to change the order of the day and switch in conference presentation 9 and 10. Just
Flip-flop.
invert them, flip-flop them.
Okay, 9 and 10.
Put 10 before 9.
There's a motion on the floor.
Motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
We move that we change 8 and 9, swap them around.
9 and 10.
8, 9 and what?
9 and 10.
9 and 10. Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Anyone else? Mr. Brinton?
Did you all move to approve the agenda?
No. We
Okay, I
just,
think you need to.
no,
Approve the
we're
agenda.
next. That's going to ask for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Second.
Being second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Okay. Pat.
Recommend approving the minutes of the regular board meeting of February 2nd, 2010, with any corrections.
You have a motion?
I'll move.
Second.
Moving second, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
I'd like to abstain. I wasn't at that meeting.
Exactly, okay, thank you. Pat?
Recommend approving the consent agenda. The board has agreed to discuss the following items. All of the items below that are not called out will be approved by consent.
Okay. Of course, we're going to listen, 12 and 13 behind closed doors. Colleagues agreed to discuss 14, 15.
15 pulled.
It's been pulled, 15 has been pulled. 17, 22, 25, 26, 29, 30. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Got it?
I think I had circled 23 also.
You want to circle 33?
23.
23.
23. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
23.
Anytime there's a
23.
budget amendment.
All right. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Been moved and approved. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Pat?
We'll start anyway.
Conference presentations. 1, recognition of Texas Art Education Association Youth Art Month qualifiers.
Mr. Springton.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I get to turn this over to Ms. Monfils.
Mr. President, Mr. Springsteen, members of the board, this evening we very proudly display here copies of art that is currently in the Capitol in Austin, Texas, art that was produced by 2 of our very wonderful Lucio Middle School principals. Ms. Rose Longoria, please.
Good evening. Board President, Mr. Aguilar, board members, Mr. Springsteen. It is with great pleasure that I come before you to present 2 extremely talented, motivated, and dedicated students who have outshined in the state of Texas. Their names are Deyanira Macias and Alexandra Cruz, both 8th grade students at Lucio Middle School. They were honored this month at the state capitol in Austin, Texas for the Youth Art Month projects. This is the 2nd year that Deyanira Macias received this coveted distinction. National Youth Art Month is an annual event that accentuates the value of art education for all children and encourages support for quality school art programs. I would like to emphasize that these young artists were the only students recognized south of San Antonio, and their projects will be exhibited in our state capitol for the month of March. I'm very proud of our esteemed artists and the dedication and commitment of their teacher, who ensures success by providing unwavering support at all times. Therefore, I take also this opportunity to honor Mr. Frank Garza, an outstanding art teacher who is responsible for these students' continued excellence. In addition, I would like to mention that this is the 2nd year in a row where Mr. Garza students get state recognition in the National Youth Art Month. Please join me in honoring them with a round of applause.
Congratulations, well done. Great job. Congratulations.
Good work.
How are you doing? Fine. So, congratulations.
Don't go too far, we're gonna get some pictures. Good job. Thank you, Frank. And we're gonna get a picture with the board. Maybe we can do
Call my wife and the glasses are close to the computer, ¿verdad? Porque después ni los encuentras.
Okay.
Sí.
Done. Now we're good. Okay.
I'm so sorry. It's good quality because nothing happens to you. One more.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. I'll take care of it.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Aguilar? Mr. Garza, I want to congratulate you again. because your daughter is a finalist again. She is our Heinz Ketchup winner from last year. She's at it again, so I hope we win so we can get more ketchup packets out there.
And there's one of our students, one of the Lucia students, is also a national finalist right now.
So we have 2 this year. Well,
Don't we have one from
Hudson.
one from Hudson also, if I think?
that's
Okay,
his daughter.
okay.
That's his daughter.
And one from your school?
And my student.
Okay, your student.
And thank you for passing that talent that you have. This is why these children do as well as they do. Thank you.
I just wanted to thank all of you for your support for the fine arts. And speaking of that, we do the 2 students that we have. If you go to that website, the Ketchup website, and you vote online, that's how they determine the winners. So just on behalf of the Department of Fine Arts and Lucio Middle School, thank you so much for your support.
And thank you for the leadership in the Fine Arts Department, Dr. and then also your staff. Thank them for us for the excellent work they do across the district.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Item 2, recognition of chess teams for participation in the 2010 Texas State Chess Championship.
Mrs. Springton.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. It is my pleasure to be able to talk about our state recognition opportunities for our students, for our teachers, for our chess coaches, for the chess program. Ms. Monfils.
Yes, sir. Mr. Aguilar, Mr. Springston, members of the board, not much can be added to the wonderful things that have already been said. So I present to you Mr. Merrill Hammonds.
Sorry. I get you.
Thank you, Ms. Monfils. Board President, Mr. Aguilar, Superintendent, Mr. Springston, ladies and gentlemen of the board and the audience. Again, here we are to recognize outstanding performance by our students in our chess program this year. Once again, the BISD chess students have traveled to the state chess tournament and done an outstanding job. So here to present this year's teams and individuals who placed in the top 3 at the state tournament is Ms. Corina Caballero, District Chess Coordinator.
Thank you, Mr. Hammonds. Good evening, Board President, Mr. Aguilar, Superintendent, Mr. Springston, ladies and gentlemen of the board and members in the audience. The Texas Scholastic Chess Championship Tournament, which was held on February 20th and 21st in Dallas, Texas, produced 7 teams that placed 1st through 3rd in their respective division. It is with great honor and pleasure that I present to you the chess team members, their coaches, and their principals. Beginning in the Kinder through 1st division, we have Egley Elementary, who placed 2nd at state. Their coach, Mr. Ernesto Guillén. The students are Liane Marie Castro, Ilian de los Santos, Andrés Dante Guillén, Daniel Diego Guillén, Moisés Hernández, Alexis Robinson, and Robert Stone. Their principal, Ms. Christina Bridgewater, and their assistant principal, Mr. Pedro Vidal.
Let's just stay down there.
Small kids, I'm gonna let them come by.
And then we'll go down. So cute. Make sure your parents don't blink because you'll be in senior anytime. They grow so fast.
Congratulations.
You're so darling.
My goodness, y'all did such a good job. Congratulations. Christina, this is great. Thank you. Congratulations.
Great job with it.
They're so precious. Are you North? Have we seen it in high school?
Congratulations, sweetie.
You guys are awesome. Congratulations.
Hey, good job, Diego.
You guys proud of yourself?
Lisa, Alexis, good job.
Awesome.
And Robert, good job.
Proud of you. Good job. Good job. Good job, Christine.
Next week, yeah.
I remember, Alexis, when you were just like a year old. How old are you now? I'm going to move this
La competition, La abuela.
Without you, we wouldn't have this wonderful. Okay, he's blocking, so we need to put him, we need to put him. Right here, right here. Okay, a little bit more that way. And there, I want to make sure all of you come on. You worked too hard for this. Don't move, one more. Another camera. Another camera. Don't move. Oh. Remember, you guys cut the camera down.
A little bit better, yes. He wants to get his exercise.
Oh.
Also in the K-1 division, we have Benavides Elementary, placed third at the state tournament. Coaches, Ms. Sonia Garcia and Leticia Longoria. The students are Jose Carlos Coronado, Daniel de la Fuente, Derek Gutierrez, Vivek Kival, and Alan Lopez. Their principal, Ms. Sherry Stout.
Oh my goodness, you did such a good job.
Congratulations, good job, guys.
Oh my goodness, what a wonderful job.
Good job, sir. Good job, young man. Good job,
Great
young man.
job.
Good job, young man. Congratulations.
Sarah, great job.
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations, sweetheart. You're so cute. You're so cute. Good job, Derek. Good job, guys. Hey, Alan. Good job. Congratulations. Proud of me. Good job. Excellent. That's wonderful.
Come on over here, guys. How about parents? Are there parents in here?
Yes, they're back there.
The
They're very
parents
shy.
like to come up here with your children?
Any parents from Benavides?
Welcome to come in the photo with your child. Come on, don't be shy.
There they go.
Look at all those. Chiquita, which one is yours? The one with the Ay, qué hermoso.
He's so cute.
Thank you.
Also?
And in the K-3 division, it is with great pleasure that this evening I present to you Hudson Elementary state champs. They placed first in their division. We have Priya Trekru, and Priya also placed first individually, making her a state champ, okay, in her division. So here's Priya. Alfonso Salais, Ramesh Linan, Jose Castillo Jr., Troy Trevino, Ismael Llamas, Ariel Garza, Norberto Manzanares. This is the team that placed first at state, claiming the state championship title. Their coach, Mr. Luis Roy Gomez, and their principal, Dr. Rita Hernandez. And of course, the parents who have supported all these chess teams.
Wow, that trophy's huge.
That's a big one.
Congratulations.
Figured out how to carry that thing, didn't you?
Congratulations. Congratulations.
You and I are going to have to play too.
Oh my goodness, hello.
Congratulations. Hi.
Hey, sweetie.
Congratulations. Hey, Doc.
Good job, good job. Idea if you can do it.
Stay up there and.
Trophies in the middle. Oh, my son brings the trophies outside. Move back, guys.
Move back.
Going to invite the parents.
Invite the parents.
Parents?
Any parents?
A photo?
Hudson Elementary?
Just hand your camera to someone to take a picture. Parents, you want to come in the picture?
Parents, come on. Get in here.
Come on. You know how hard you work to make them this good. Come on, get in the picture.
Told me the excuse. I mean, it's
Bye.
ridiculous. We didn't interview her.
Hold on, two more.
Put this a little down because it covers your face, Mom. I want to see your face. Congratulations.
Good job, folks.
Sorry, but I don't see you in that cool. How are you? Congratulations, guys.
And we continue with the K-3 division. Right behind Hudson Elementary, we have Martin Elementary, second place at the state tournament. Their coaches, Mr. Agripino Olvera and Martha Benavides. Students are Marcos Garcia, Andres Guerra, Juan Kupke, Brian Perez, Mateo Ramirez, Miranda Ashley Ruiz, Crystal Marie Solis, Gabriela Solis, and Abigail Rocha. Their principal, Ms. Gilda Jo Peña.
Congratulations.
Wow, that was a wonderful job. You guys did good. Great job. Chiquita, how are you?
Any parents from Martin?
Congratulations.
You're starstruck. Thank God. Parents? Come on, parents. Come on in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And in the K-5 division, from Paredes Elementary, we have a team of 4, and they placed second at the state tournament. Edgar Santoyo, Ricardo Santoyo, John Steven Flores, and Christopher Cardenas. Their coaches, James Hoteling and Aida Montanaro, and their principal, Mrs. Julie Trevino.
Hello, sir. How are you doing? Beautiful. I just called. A while ago.
Congratulations.
No. Oh, and she's got some kids in here, probably. Maybe. That'll be a plus if so.
Mr. Flores, parent. Coach over there, but your parent here.
No, she doesn't.
We continue on with the middle school division, and we have a team of 12, but representing Vela today, we have 2 students. We have Douglas Alford, and we have Elizabeth Vasquez. But along with the team, we have Christopher Barroso Engel, Christian Cardenas, Gabriel Gomez, Matthew Gutierrez, Jeffrey Hung, Joshua Martinez, Fernando Mendez, Ian Santos, Elizabeth, and James Ucoli. And we also have Jeffrey Hung, who was a state co-champion at this division. Their coaches, Mr. Victor Flores and Mr. Tony Mesa, and representing their administration here today, Mr. Salazar, their Dean of Instruction. And they are also state champs at the middle school level.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you. Good to see you.
It's so blue.
Yes. Come on. Mom's dad.
Come on, get the picture.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good job, folks. Good job. Thank you all. That's your little one.
And in the high school division, we have Hannah High School, who placed 3rd at the state tournament. Representing the team today, we have Kathleen Preble. Their team members do include Deidre Igareda, Rene Martinez, Juan Delgado, Michael Rogers, Christian Ramirez, Ian Gonzalez, Ivana Santos, John Davila, Pierre Cantu, Lauren Rogers, Lucas Garza, and Daniel Casas. Their coaches are Ms. Nelda Rogers and Rebecca Preble, and their assistant principal today, Mary Ellen Rodriguez.
Please stay where they are. Stay where you are. Don't go too far. More kiddos. More. There's more coming. Yes. More kids coming.
You days.
Don't go too far. Yep.
Item 3, recognition of Destination Imagination students that participated in the regional competition.
Mrs. Springton, please.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board, members of the audience. The DI team did a great job this year, and I'm going to go ahead and let Ms. Monfils introduce our academic advisor on this.
Mr. President, Mr. Springston, Mr. Merrill Hammonds is our program administrator for advanced academics, under which many of these programs such as chess and DI fall. So, Mr. Hammonds?
Thank you once again, Ms. Monfals. Board President, Mr. Aguilar, Superintendent, Mr. Springston, ladies and gentlemen of the board and the audience. Once again, the Brownsville Destination Imagination teams have performed wonderfully at the regional DI competition, which was held on February 13th in Edinburgh, Texas. BISD had 41 teams competing, which was the most in the region. And in just a minute, I'm going to introduce Mary Flores, who coordinates the whole program for our district. But if I could just take 1 minute to show what the spirit of DI really is. We had a lot of trouble this year in the region as far as getting things off the ground. And a lot of things that were supposed to happen were not happening. So Ms. Flores took it on her own to make sure that the trainings for our coaches and the opportunities for our students happen and occurred here in Brownsville. And she's a perfect example of what it's like to be here, and BISD's motto of doing it for the students of the district. So at this time, I would like to turn it over to Ms. Flores, who again coordinates the DI program for the district, and she will introduce the teams that placed first in regional and will advance to the state competition. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, and good evening. First of all, I'd like to start off by saying that I really feel very honored and privileged to have the opportunity to assist Mr. Hammonds in coordinating this wonderful, wonderful program for our district. I don't know if y'all are very familiar with Destination Imagination, but it is a program that builds on developing and creating, helping our students develop their creative and critical thinking skills. It's also a program that provides many opportunities for these students to participate and use a lot of problem-solving methods and techniques. And it's definitely a program that helps develop students' leadership skills and teamwork, and they learn how to work collaboratively with other students to solve a challenge. And so we are here tonight to celebrate and to honor these special students that went on and did an excellent job. They had excellent and awesome performances at the regional tournament, and they really executed great sportsmanship and leadership. So I'd like to start off with the two Rivera teams that we have here tonight. Rivera is, it's really special tonight because they are back-to-back state qualifiers. Both of these teams from Rivera are back-to-back state qualifiers. So let's start out with the first team from Rivera. This first team selected to participate and solve a challenge. And the challenge focused on structural engineering, robotic technology, research, theater arts, and teamwork. And the regional champions for this challenge are Jeffrey Aguilar, Carolina Vega, go ahead, Carolina Vega, Darren Vasquez, and Victoria Conley. Our second team from Rivera, they are not only the regional champions, but they also are the recipients of a very special award that was presented at the tournament, and it is the Renaissance Award. And that award was presented to the team who demonstrated extraordinary amounts of effort and preparation in their solutions and skill in engineering and in their performance. And so the members of this great team are Vianney Gonzalez, Aaron Cardosa, Betty Murieta, and Sarah Cantu. I would also like to add that Sarah Cantu was the individual award winner of the Da Vinci Award at this tournament, and she received this award for having a unique approach to a solution for risk-taking and outstanding creativity. Congratulations. The team managers for these teams are Fred Tamez and Mary Jane Olivares, and the school principal, Mr. Tim Snyder.
Congratulations, sir. Really proud of you. Congratulations. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a natural drama queen in the Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, we can stand up here for this.
Very much. Bigger. Thank you, sir. Now come on back here.
Oh, yeah.
Ouch. Yeah. This side.
Creative.
Very nice.
I would have loved to have had that when we were in school.
Congratulations. Sorry.
Which is different.
I graduated in coaches of the league.
Our next team, they are from Stillman Middle School, and this team selected to solve Challenge D, and this challenge focused on improvisational acting, story development, teamwork, research skills, and the regional champions are Remy Barrett Carrasco, Alberto Leal, Luis Garza, Cassandra Gonzalez, and Michael Sanchez. Team manager was Jessica Olivares, and a principal, Marisela Zarate.
Congratulations.
Great job.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Good job.
Good job.
Your trophy's so big.
Congratulations.
Hitting my girl in the
Congratulations.
You look great.
Congratulations.
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 Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Football.
Good job, folks.
The next team is from Ortiz Elementary, and this team selected Challenge C. This challenge also focused on storytelling, puppet design, construction, theater arts, and visual arts. And our regional champions are Alyssa Weaver, Manuel Lozano, and Ryan Reese. Okay, Alejandra Valdez and Abby Mata. And the team manager is Irma de Leon, and the school principal is Ms. Sandra Lopez.
I know your grandpa. He was a great guy. Congratulations.
Congratulations, lady. Congratulations.
Hello. Congratulations. Thank you. So proud of that group.
Congratulations.
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 Yeah, those are the students.
Oh, ma'am, congratulations.
Yes, I think so. Okay, let's go now.
No, but if you want me to go down, I'll go down.
We can let it ride till next meeting.
No, 9:30. A bet is a bet. Right. No.
Before I present our last team, I'd like to say that all of these 5 teams will be traveling to Dallas on April 16th to compete at the state level. Our last team is from Sharp Elementary, and this team selected the challenge that focused on structural engineering, science, international relations, research, innovation and design process, mathematics, theater arts, and teamwork. And the regional champions are Isabella Davis, Ivan Lopez, Diego Hinojosa, Renata Martinez, Noah Huerta, and Jonathan Ontiveros. Team manager is Marisa Davis, and school principal Karen Trevino. And Cristina Barrow.
Congratulations.
This is mine. Concludes our presentation.
Good job. The dance team. The next item.
BISD stars.
Dance right. That's gonna be us.
Are you serious?
Yes, serious.
Really? Throw yours away too.
I wouldn't mess with me if I were you.
Item 4, Recognition of Lopez High School Fine Arts Company and Golden Stars Dance Team.
Mr. Spring, please.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board, parents, principal, AA. I know how proud you all are of these champions and what they did in San Marcos. Ms. Monfiles, can you go ahead and start that off for us?
Yes, sir. Mr. Springsteen, Mr. Aguilar, members of the board, as the very proud Area Assistant Superintendent for the Lopez Cluster, it's my privilege to introduce Ms. Dawn Hall and the Golden Stars.
I just want to introduce a woman whose life has been dedicated to the excellence of children in the field of dance, Sandy Zakora. She will introduce our dancers. They have inspired many, and the recognition that they've earned is incredible. We're very proud of them. They stand as beacons of excellence to all the kids in our cluster as well as our school. Sandy?
Good evening. Thank you. I am the proud dance director, choreographer, and founder of the Lopez Fine Arts Dance Company and Golden Stars Dance Team. I've had the honor of leading this elite program since the school's inception in 1993, and have had the privilege of working with several hundred students, many of whom have continued their studies in dance at various universities and/or are performing with and/or choreographing for elite dance companies across the country. I have dedicated endless hours building this program to be one of the strongest and most respected dance programs in Texas, earning over 600 regional, state, and national awards. Being one of the only teams ever in the Valley to earn a state championship in team dance at the Texas State University competition in San Marcos last month is an extraordinary accomplishment. We need to celebrate the amazing talents and the overwhelming accomplishments of these fine students. I would like to introduce to you one of my top senior dancers and exemplary students, Vita Sullivan.
As Evan Naysar once stated, success is the good fortune that comes from aspiration, perspiration, and inspiration. His words best convey all of our efforts and all of our successes. Good evening, Mr. Superintendent, members of the board, administrators, and fellow community members. On behalf of the Lopez High School Fine Arts Dance Company and Golden Stars Dance Team, we wish to thank you for gathering here today and recognizing us in our most recent epic accomplishment. As our predecessors know, working towards a state championship title is no simple task. It took long, grueling hours of practice, hard work, and commitment to achieve this goal, and we appreciate the fact that our efforts did not go unnoticed. Our overwhelming feelings of happiness and exhilaration that we felt when we were named the 2010 state champions is indescribable. Truly a priceless moment that we will cherish forever. We not only did this for ourselves, but for our school and our director. Having said that, none of this would have been possible without Ms. Sandy Zakora's dedication and leadership. She has dedicated 17 years of her life to this program and to her students whom she inspires to do their very best. We are thankful that she not only emphasizes discipline perfection in our performances, but in the classroom as well. The values and work ethic that we've learned through our experiences will remain with us as we continue to strive, not only to be the best performers we are capable of being, but the best students and citizens in our school and our community. On behalf of our program, we would like to thank you for your support and present you with the team shirt, a small token of our appreciation. Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Great job. Thank you. Congratulations. Great job. Congratulations. You guys look great on that video.
Right on. Congratulations.
A lot of hard work.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Great job.
Okay, thank you very much, appreciate it.
You need to lead everybody back into
Great job.
Congratulations. Good job, good job, good job.
Practice and training done? Congratulations. All that dedication, guys. Good job. Congratulations. Congratulations. Great job.
Excited. Congratulations, sir.
You guys have a big team. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You guys
No,
have
it wasn't excited.
video shows you guys. 100%. Congratulations. Great work. Great job. Congratulations. Great job. Good job, you guys. Congratulations. Great work, guys. Great work. Congratulations. You guys did outstanding.
Got to see it.
Congratulations. Great job.
You're the greatest.
That's right.
That's a long
Some of these in the front, too.
Yeah, they
kneel
will.
down, okay?
Yeah.
Some of them can kneel down.
Oh, not all of them. Way to go, kids.
They know how to take pictures.
Okay, that gentleman right there, yeah, there you go.
That we can get closer.
We can do something
Porque
with
estaba
that.
el chamaco grandote. No.
How about on this side, man? So you can come up. Wherever you want. Yeah, so that- we want you to shine along with the teacher.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. More. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Good job, students. Good job.
They're gonna take pictures again or what?
Mm-hmm.
Start to march now.
They're gonna leave him? Ms. Hall, before they leave, I want to congratulate all the young ladies. It's a first in BISD, and it's always great and honor to win a state championship.
And Mr. Aguilar, and yes, Miss Sandy is right. It's very difficult to win as a team. In 1975, Porter won in the officers division and took the state champ in 1975 in the officers division. But the tougher division was this one. My hat's off to you because I know you had the stiffest competition that exists in drill team. Thank you for that honor that you give us.
And thank you for the T-shirt.
Oh, you forgot one.
Thank you. He's missing one to me. Huh? He just came in.
We will wear it proudly.
Pan.
Item 5, presentation on monthly report from BISD Bond Oversight Committee. Bond Oversight Committee meeting was held on March 4th, 2010.
Mr. Springton, please.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. I did talk with Butch Barbosa. He's here. Butch, come on up to the podium. Thank you for being here.
The President, members of the board, Mr. Stringman, we had our meeting, and there's some discussions that I'm going to go through just to inform you of what things that we have been able to accomplish and have agreed with a lot of the things that the administration has done. First of all, I don't mean to get ahead of the game for you, but the report comes before some of the items that you are going to be hearing later on, and I don't want to be repetitious about things that are going on, but I just want to let you inform you how the committee felt. And first of all, I'd like to tell you on the agreement that BISD has with PBK. I think there's we've come a long way with that. We started with 15%, now we're at 50-50, and it's a great asset for the city, for the BISD to be able to take that into consideration and take it for the betterment of the district. There's been a lot of discussions and a lot of admissions of errors that have mistakes that were accomplished. But I personally and a lot of the board members there felt that just to be careful when you're discussing it, that it is litigations type of agreement stuff. So as far as speaking out in public, it may be something you may consider taking into executive session when you're discussing or asking some of the questions, because it is an agreement between parties that have come together for the betterment of the district. Next, I'd like to be able to tell you that Manzano and Keller are at about 83% completion, and they will be meeting the date that the administration had hoped to open, so they will accomplish that goal. Next, I'd like to be able to discuss about veterans high school. It's just a great thing out there for these kids that are looking forward to the day that it is open, the day that it is turned over to you all. It is at about 93% completion. Most of it, I think, is the outer part as far as the stadiums are concerned, the baseball fields, the sidewalks and all that that are outside. Due to some of the weather, it's kind of delayed some of it, but it hasn't affected the date as far as the open is concerned. But it is a beautiful date. We do have Mr. Reyes from the administration, and they have hired a Dr. Juan Chavez, which is doing most of the technology as far as the courses that will be given out there, like the architecture part, construction, plumbing, electrician, the welding. He has been talking to a lot of some of the other administrators that they have in the district, along with other companies that are within the Brownsville school district, to inform of the safety of equipment, new equipment that needs to be installed. And there will be some change orders coming in with recommendations that he has taken under. They'll be added to the school out there that's going on. One of the areas, I know that we had a lot of concern from members of the committee and from you all as far as the height on the second floor going on. We have spoken to the architect that is coming up with 4 designs of ways we can improve the situation. And at our next meeting, we're going to be able to get the cost effect of all 4 projects to see which is the best way to go, and then we can recommend to you before it's brought to you to make sure that it is for the safety of the children, the kids, the high school kids that are out there. That pretty much concludes a lot of the areas that we have covered. We will be going to Canales. They're probably at 90%, but we're going to have our next meeting at Canales to be able to review that campus out there. I mean, we've done wonderful things for the district, and all these awards that you gave tonight and stuff. It's good to be able to have and give these kids the buildings that they deserve. And I think the community as a whole is very, very satisfied the way that these bond money were used. And hopefully now that we're doing so well, just to light the light bulb out there, that we may be looking into a future bond issue coming up in the future. I know the citizens would back us up 100%, knowing especially the way we used these last bonds that they passed for the good of the community and the good of BISD. And I certainly would like to congratulate you for all the time and efforts that you all are doing to making this a better district. And if you all have any questions or any concerns that you may have, if I can't answer them, we will get the answer.
Anyone?
Yes,
Ms. Garcia?
did I hear that we're at 93% completion and we have more change orders coming in?
If I'm not mistaken, on the last meeting that we had, that we were doing a presentation, that there was a concern with the balcony, if I'm not mistaken, from the second floor to the first floor, that there were some safety things that the board wanted to look at. I think Ms. Pena was asking about, and so we went out back to the architect to look at some different options to look at those safety features. There was another question that was brought up about some of the equipment that would be used in some of the career and technology labs about safety, and we were looking at some of those options also.
And my question to administration, wasn't that ever looked at before it even got to this level or to this percentage of completion?
No, it wasn't. We didn't look at that because it met specs. It met state specifications.
Also, do you know, can I, the next weekly letter for, what are we, Tuesday and Friday, if I can have a list or all the change orders that were made for that campus, please? Every single one of them, please?
Not a problem.
Thank you.
Ms. Pena?
Mr. Aguilar, Mr. Springston, board members, and Ms. Presas, yes, I was at that particular school, and I remember looking at that hazard, having that opening. So then they are going to do something to protect it. Somebody has already advised me they're going to put a barrier so there won't be any danger of anyone accidentally falling off the second floor. And as far as technology, the equipment that was put in there appeared to be very flimsy. When it was ordered, it didn't look that way, but once it was installed, it was not a safe type of equipment to have in those particular technology rooms. So I'm glad that we're going to look into it and take care of it. And unfortunately, like Ms. Presa says, when we look at this stuff, and I know I'm going to beat a dead horse here, we need to go to the technology instructors, to the teachers, to the soldiers in the front line and bring them in and say, this is what we want. And the soldiers in the front line will tell you, no, you don't. That's not going to work. Because this is what's happening. This is why we're having the change orders. Because for some reason we failed to go in and get the people out in the trenches to come in and look at what we're building for them to work with and to protect the kids. And at the last minute, we're running around doing change orders and sometimes paying more, even though the money's allotted and the money's there. But that was the problem that would be foreseen by the people that are actually going to use these schools and these classrooms. So in future, any school we build, please, let's stay on top of it and bring these people in, especially in technology and safety, because they're the guys out there in the front lines. They would tell you what you forgot to add on. So I appreciate that we're fixing it, but let's see if we can stay on top of it to be proactive and not have to have change orders.
Mr. Garza, if you don't mind stepping up for just a second and answer these questions. I know that when I started back in facilities about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, a lot of these projects were underway, but if I'm not mistaken, it was, weren't you and the architects, or not you, but our previous administrator in operations, I know PBK is also here. Don't we always set up meetings with the teachers and administrators to look at the designs to see what it is that they prefer? And I think they also did this with this school. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Springston, that's correct. For every project, not only the high school, Mr. Tapia had a group of different administrators, teachers, principals, assigned to look at the different areas. I know for career technology, Mr. Reyes was involved at that time, but that's the reason we keep contingency monies, because once you have a principal on board, you have other people on board, well, there's new ideas, things change, and in this case, for career technology, we have Dr. Chavez now on board. He's come with some recommendations. Fortunately, we do have money to include some of his changes. But to answer your question, yes, we do include everybody that we can in our project design. One other thing I want to mention is when I started here 2.5 years ago, the design for the high school and some of these other elementaries in Manzano Middle School were already started. So it's been almost 3-year projects since the 2006. Things change in those 2 or 3 years, And that's why some things are now newer that were not included in the original design, and that's why some of these change orders happen.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Aguilar? I appreciate that, sir, but our concern here is safety, and as far as back as mankind was created, safety is safety. Because some of these issues that we're bringing up are safety issues, obvious safety issues. So if I may, Mr. Aguilar, Mr. Springsteen, may I have a list of the people who actually looked at the school, their expertise, and what they had to say on some of these things that are being corrected due to safety? Because I know you said people come in, they have different ideas, they have different likes. I understand that, and I'm totally okay with that. But when it comes to safety issues, I think everyone is on the same page. I just want to know how it was missed. That's all I ask.
There's a lot of new technologies that has come out from the beginning, that when it was started to today. One of the issues was that they were showing, just as an example, was saying that now there's a saw out there that if it has any kind of destruction, it just stops. It doesn't function anymore. It just like turning the switch off. And that technology was not available at that time. But now that it is available, this is one of the change orders that they're putting in there for the knowledgeable of the kids, for the safeguard of the kids, because this is something that is changing constantly. I'm not saying that it's everything, but these are some examples of things that are always, just like when you get a new computer, by the time you take it home, it's old stuff. And you have to keep up with it by trying to update it and get the best ones that you can. And this is some of the problems that they may have arise when things are happening and somebody comes in, you go off to some seminar somewhere and they teach you all these new technologies and new ideas and new forms that, we had no idea about. And these are some of the changes that are occurring at this time.
Thank you, I appreciate that, but if I'm not mistaken, the people who brought that up retired quite a few years back and picked up on it right away. So this is something that was there like maybe 10 years ago, so the technology was already there. The safety about the second floor being open and make it possible where the hallway was decreased, the walkway went from 18 feet to 9 feet and left an opening, that's a safety issue. I just want to stress the importance of safety. We can sit here all day and I can have someone justify what they did. What I'm asking is let's look at safety before we try to get beauty in, because safety has to outweigh the beauty of a school. Because if it's beautiful but it's dangerous, then it's no good to us. That's all I ask.
Yes, and I think everybody's concerned about the safety of our children. And we can be here all night talking about we should have done this, should have done that. As new people come aboard, they have different ideas. And I think we're fortunate enough that we listen to them and continue making changes as we go along. And those are necessary changes. And it's not because somebody forgot or whatever, that perhaps at the time those plans were originated, that was the best thing to do at that particular time. And I'm glad you guys and our administration are looking at these new changes and doing the best we can for our kids. Pat?
Thank you.
Item 6, presentation of the Brownsville Independent School District financial report for the period ended January 31st, 2010.
Before that, Mr. Barroso, thank you very much for bringing that report, and I also appreciate your positive comments about the board and how well the district is doing. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Mr. Springton.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. If we have any questions on the financial report ending January 31st, 2010, I have Mr. Fuller here to answer any questions.
Anyone?
I have a question.
Ms. Garcia?
Mr. Fuller, what's the deficit that we have? Do you know the numbers of the deficit?
Mr. Aguilar and Mr. Springsteen, members of the board, define deficit, please. I don't understand what you're talking about.
If you're a CFO, I believe you would know what our deficit is.
We have originally adopted a $11.1 million deficit revenues of expenditures.
Okay.
You're talking, that's adopted, July 1.
So you adopted that, we adopted that as of when?
We did, July 1.
Okay. Okay. That was my question to you. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Item 7, presentation of proposed resale of foreclosed property.
Mr. Springton.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, Mr. Fuller.
Thank you, Mr. Springston. Mr. Aguilar, members of the board, with us tonight is Mr. Rick Pena of Pena and Associates, and he will go through this presentation of the foreclosure.
Aguilar, Superintendent Springston, trustees, good evening. I'm Enrique Pena with E. Pena Associates. We have 13 properties before you that what we call resale properties. These properties have been were originally sold at tax sale. There was no bids. They were what we call stricken off the rolls and held in trust by all the taxing entities. They were again put out for tax sale this November, and at that time, starting bids it was an open auction, no minimum bids, and before you, there's a schedule of the bids that were presented to the Sheriff's Department on these properties. And we're now before you asking that you accept these bids on these properties so they may be placed back on the tax rolls. There's 13 total bids, 13 total properties. BISD will be allotted $35,036.79 of all the bids received, and we will have to stricken from the rolls close to $90,000 or $95,000 in taxes.
Any questions? Dr. Scoyle?
So just a quick question. Did I understand it's about $35,000 worth of properties or of what?
No, $35,000 in taxes that the school district will receive from the bids.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Sayas?
Mr. Pena, sorry. Mr. Pena, these are properties that there's more owed on taxes than the value of the actual properties?
That's correct. These are half lots and abandoned properties, burnt out homes that have just been on the rolls, that they're really not too many people want. And that's why the bids are so low, because of their condition.
So we sell these properties, at least we get them back on the tax rolls, we can start
That's
collecting
correct.
some
The
money.
idea is some of these empty lots, some of these buyers do build homes on them and resell them, and that's why I stress that we get them back on the rolls.
Okay, and are all the other entities in line with you?
Yes, they are. They've all accepted, and the school district's the last one.
We're the last one? Okay.
And some of these properties have been off the rolls, 7 years, just until we found someone who was willing to make a bid on it.
Okay.
Anyone else? Pat?
Item 8, presentation of report on the collection of delinquent ad valorem taxes by Mr. Enrique Pena, tax attorney for the Brownsville Independent School District.
Mr. Springton.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, Mr. Fuller.
Again, Mr. Rick Pena with Pena and Associates will go more into the detail of this report. This report is through, I believe, February 28th?
Yes, that's correct. Good evening. Oh, good evening again. Trustees, I'm going to go through and outline what we've done this fiscal year concerning our collections. We use 4 tactics to try to collect the taxes we have in the school district. Our first one is sending out notices. We've already mailed out 6 notices to all the delinquent taxpayers in the school district. That's totaling 36,000 letters have been distributed through the city. We have an additional 3 more notices that will go out before the end of the fiscal year. They average around 8,000. This time of the year, they average around 8,000 letters per mail out. They're effective, and we do it just to make sure that there's a taxpayer can't say that we didn't give them notice of their delinquency. The next tactics we use are home visits. I have collectors that go out and do what we call knock and talks. We conducted 5,786 home visits. These are one of my most effective way of collecting. They make actual contact with the taxpayer. They inform them of the delinquencies. They advise them if there's any question as far as ownership, changes, values, that they go to the appraisal district. If they do not make contact and they notice that the property is in dire straits, in essence that we need to file suit, they take pictures, make notes, come back and inform us of the condition, and then we file suit next. In addition to these 5,000 home visits, we do more as in follow-ups. You know, once we make contact, the same collectors, we'll follow up with the taxpayers and keep, I hate to say the word, hound them to come pay, but it's necessary since I don't believe in litigation. It's the last straw litigation. And we keep, when we file suit, it's because we just couldn't come to terms with them. In addition to the home visits, we also do phone banking. That we have a staff of phone bankers that when we get good phone numbers of the taxpayers, we make phone calls. This fiscal year, we filed 54 lawsuits seeking to collect $407,859 in base penalties and interest. We've targeted another 20 accounts for litigation. Those 20 accounts I put down in the next 60 days. Actually, they'll be filed by Friday. We currently have 850 open file. They're not necessarily open file. We have 850 lawsuits pending where we're still trying to collect, and I have to make a correction here. It's not $2 million. It's $3,068,675. If you were to look at, you got a new exhibit, Exhibit 4. It's a pie graph. It's a breakdown of our receivables. It gives you an idea of how our receivables are broken down. Currently, we have 26% of our receivables in litigation. 12% is in bankruptcy or deferrals. I call this the do not touch list. We are restricted on our collections. Bankruptcies, we file our proof of claims, but deferrals, we can't proceed with any collection efforts. That's a tactic taxpayers use to allow them to abate their taxes until their deaths, actually. We've collected 26.25% of the receivables, and we have pending balance 35.49%, which is $4.1 million. We were scheduled to post a tax sale this April. I postponed that tax sale till May, so I can bring in more properties. We were going to sell 18 properties in April. Now we're going to sell 56 in May, seeking to collect $340,854. I did that for a reason. I have, of those 56 properties, over 5 are actual homesteads with taxpayers living in them. I'm giving them a chance to try to find a way to pay us before that tax sale. So I'm giving them an extra 30 days. And as you see the pie chart, we currently are at 26.25% of our collection this year, which surpasses last year's amount at the same time. Percentage-wise, surpasses percentage-wise from 25.96 as of last year. Exhibit 1, there's a couple exhibits for you to look at. Exhibit 1 is the lawsuits that we filed, the actual name of the taxpayer and the cause number. And you'll see Exhibit 2 and 3 are the actual properties that we'll be posting for tax sale in May. Any questions?
Any questions? Mr. Syed, yes.
Okay, I was looking at the difference in your receivables between your pie chart from 3/1/2009 to 3/1/2010, and it seems like your receivables went down.
That's correct.
What does that mean?
That means our collections there's two reasons for that. Our current tax office is collecting a higher percentage of your current taxes. So when those receivables are turned over to us in July 1st, they've decreased on average. And since our collections are surpassing the new receivables that get turned to us every year, so our delinquent tax balance is decreasing.
I mean, that's what we want, right?
That's what you want.
In other words, we want a smaller number on that pie chart.
Right.
Okay. I notice it's $1 million difference, more or less.
Right. This is the lowest delinquent tax balance in 6 years.
That's good. All right.
So you're getting your monies faster, tax office doing well, and I think we're doing a good job of collecting what we can off the DTR roll. Delinquent tax receivables.
Anyone else? Pat?
Presentation by PBK on MEP problems at Keller Manzano Projects. Board member request.
Springton.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. I know, Eli, we have you here. We've been working on these problems, and we had a board member request to have you here so we could address some of the things that we had talked about. I think it was about, what, 5 or 6 months ago?
Yes, sir.
That we actually discussed and looked at some of these options.
Correct.
Cortez?
Mr. Aguilar, thank you. You know, I just wanted to get an update on where we were at. I know that some concerns were raised initially about some of the problems with the MEP. Yes, sir. And I know that you came before the board and you said that your company was going to do everything it could to, you know, rectify the problem. And I keep hearing different reports from some of the members of the bond oversight and from administration. I just wanted to get an update for the entire board so we can know exactly where we're at on the complications and where your firm is on getting them corrected along with administration, because I keep hearing conflicting amounts for different dollar amounts, and I just wanted to get the true number, and I figured this would be the best way to do it.
If you don't mind, why don't you go ahead and start back where we were at the beginning, and I think that was the report that you had given the board with Mr. Tapia and the percentages and the MEPs and where we're at today.
I believe that we've basically cut, and I'll start off with the elementary school, with Keller Elementary. We worked back from 6 months ago, 5 or 6 months ago. We were probably four times the amount that where we are today. And that was just meeting with the contractor, meeting with the subs, hashing out the problems, getting them corrected. So we're back down to, I guess, the last number which we presented to administration a couple of weeks ago. I think that we looked at anything that was defective or anything that we had to redesign, as I promised to the board that we were going to cover 100%, which we have. We put out a chart that said any of it that had any demolition that needed to be done, we would pick up 100%. And at the time, I believe that administration or with Mr. Tapia was looking for us to participate in 100% of the total amount. We then went back and we were talking about 10 to 15%. And I think the final number that we agreed to was 50%, which we were agreed upon, and that's the number that we're here to present today. And the same thing for the middle school. We are still in the process of finishing it out. The majority of the change orders which you have before you for approval tonight, those are up to date as of yesterday or as of Monday. So we still have about 3 more months of construction left to go. So we will be done, substantially complete by June. Contractor's thinking July, but I think we can better that by June. We want to give the district enough time to move in. That way the teachers can come in and set up everything that they need to, a lot of the books, a lot of the furniture that needs to come in to be ready for the fall school year. Mr. Sprinkle, when you talk about 50%, 50% of what dollar amount? And of that dollar amount, is 50% that the district has to cover, or I guess, are they necessary expenses that the district has to incur, that they would have incurred had the design come in correctly to begin with, or are they expenses that the district's having to make as a result of an error on behalf of PBK, you know? Or is it something that was required as part of the plan but wasn't originally there and needed to be put back in, and now we're having to spend on that?
Okay, I'll clarify as much as I can here. In knowing and dealing with what we did here over the last 6 and 7 months, trying to figure out this problem, and knowing that if it was in the original specs, yes, we would have been liable for paying for those materials that would have been in those specs. At the same time, working with PBK, understanding that the MEP was turned around and there was some fault with that, and understanding that the time delay that it took to get the MEPs and to the construction firm that was working with them, that was delaying the opening of the elementary schools, we were looking at one time at 12–15% that we were going to be responsible for out of that whole project. They were. Then we upped the number to 50% just because of the fact that it was an acknowledgement that there was some mistakes that were made by PBK, in that over the $400,000 that was in that mistake era, that we were going to end up paying $200,000 with the contingency fund change order, keep it within the scope of the original balance of the budget itself, and keep it under the budget itself, and then continue to build the school and have it ready to open when kids come in August. So as far as a value, I think we did more of a value for the district than what PBK got a value for.
So it's 400,000, of which the district's going to pick up 200,000 of it?
That's about the correct number. Am I correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
So you're saying about 200,000 is going to come out of PBK's pocket
Yes,
to
sir.
cover the?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay. How much was your whole contract? Seriously, do you know?
I will say that we did it at a reduced fee. There's many excuses, and I'm not here to blame anybody or blame anything. We're taking 100% responsibility for it. We were working at a reduced fee. There were different engineers involved. Some of those engineers did not want to work at the reduced fee, so we took it upon ourselves, because we do, as PBK, have in-house engineers. So we said, we've been working with the district for the past 6 years. We've always given the district, we feel, a fair facility. We've come in under budget. We've come in time on every single one of the projects. And so we said we'd step up to the plate. Unfortunately, we came up short on this one. It's the first of, I want to say, close to $80 million that we've done with the district in the last 6 years. So this is one of our shortfalls, and we're taking 100% responsibility for it. So we did the reduced fee for the elementary school, and I'd have to go back to see what that fee was negotiated at, because even then it was negotiated down.
And I appreciate that your firm did that. It's a very noble thing to come in and own a mistake like that. And other districts may have gone into litigation, but you guys were able to avoid that by dealing with administration and taking care of some of these issues. It's never been clear to me, I don't know the rest of the board, on what that true dollar amount is at the end of the day. And so now I'm hearing it's about 400,000, of which the district's going to cover half. And so
That's correct. And one thing that I will stress is that I came before the board about 6 months ago, and not knowing the extent of it, I did want to say that we have a reputation here, and we feel it's been a good one in working relationship with the district, and we want to continue doing that. So as I stood up here, I'm here to tell you today that we're going to do everything we can to still, we still have 3 more months at the middle school. The elementary school is substantially complete, so that is the final number for the elementary school. We do have 3 more months at the middle school. Are there going to be issues? I believe that there still will be some, but we're going to just keep that going and keep that communication open with administration and participate till we are substantially complete and we turn the keys over.
I guess my only other question, Mr. Aguilar, would be to Mr. Springston, having gone through this whole project and now that you know that the district's end of it's going to be $200,000, are you satisfied with the way the changes came out and the amount that the district's having to pay, and as far as it being a fair amount for the work that's being done?
Yes, sir, I am. After working with PBK and knowing that going into litigation for something that normally we would have to pay 10 or 15% anyway, and they stepped up to the plate and added another 35%, and knowing that if it was in the original specs that we would have paid for it anyway, I am quite satisfied. And after talking with Cesar and the workflow and how things have been working on that campus now, and that's the reason why we did the flip-flop on 9 and 10, because it made sense, because a lot of these MEPs and these change orders are in this contingency change report to you. And so after our meeting, we came to a very good professional understanding that we still want to work for the next several months to make sure that we have a safe environment that's conducive to learning, for our kids, and PBK wants the same thing. Scoggins wants the same thing. And for this price, I think we'll have that done in a matter of a couple of months.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you very much. Pat?
Presentation of notification of contingency fund change orders.
Mr. Springton.
Thank you. If there's any questions on the change orders, I have Cesar here, or we can answer any of them at this time.
Fine.
B, standing board agenda items, 11 board calendars.
Mr. Springton.
Thank you, Mr. President. As I pull out my calendar here, I just wanted to make a few reminders that we have several things going on over the next couple of weeks, but I did want to welcome everybody back from spring break. I think that was very restful, very needed. We have a principals meeting tomorrow, which will be at 2 o'clock. We've got several items of discussion that we're working on. For example, one item is that we're looking for futuristic, our 10th and 11th grade students getting free SAT exams. That will not be a cost to the district at all or a cost to the students whatsoever for all 10th and 11th graders. We'll be talking about some of the ways that we're going to be doing that through the College Board. We'll be looking at some of the schedules that are upcoming for the tax test and some of the things that we have to get done for that. As a reminder, we do have 4 board members who are signed up for training in Houston that is coming up, I think, on the 25th, if I'm not mistaken, 25th, 26th, 27th. On the 27th, we have several things going on that day. We have Raquel Pena dedication. We have Congressman Ortiz's group is coming to the boardroom that morning at 8 o'clock to do a presentation. Drew, what is that presentation?
Military Academy Day.
Military Academy Day. We also have an open house at Veterans Memorial for students and their parents. That will be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we have a competition, dance competition, BISD dance competition at Lopez High School from 8 till 5. We have on Monday, elementary honors concert, choir concert at Lopez High School. That will also be at 6 o'clock. And if I'm not mistaken, we are looking at Mr. Fuller and somebody who was on the budget committee at looking at having a budget committee meeting one day next week. And I think we had one officially scheduled for the 1st, am I not correct? And also noting that on that 1st, we have a bond oversight. Also, it's April Fool's Day. And the last thing was that we don't have school on Friday. On the 2nd, it's called Good Friday. And we also are celebrating our Easter holiday on Monday, so we might be looking at rescheduling that budget meeting depending on what the committee would like to do. And we have our next board meeting on the 6th.
Any questions? Pat?
The next item on our agenda is a public comment period. This is the time for citizens, staff, or students to provide their comments to the board. Statements and questions from the audience will not be permitted during other portions of the meeting, so please let us hear from you now if you have comments to present. To have your comments heard tonight, your name and the subject matter of your comments must appear on the sign-in sheet, which is located in the rear of the meeting room. Each speaker will be limited to 5 minutes to complete his or her comments. With all due courtesy, the presiding officer will strictly enforce that time limit. If a group of people want to be heard on the same topic, the board asks that they designate a spokesperson to avoid needless repetition. The board has adopted rules to preclude the abuse of the open forum by, for example, anyone uselessly repeating the same comment or complaint meeting after meeting. All participants must understand that if your comment is in the judgment of the presiding officer, constitutes a complaint against an employee or officer, the presiding officer will interrupt and ask you to stop and direct you to proceed with the BISD's formal grievance procedures, be that D, GBA, FNG, or GF local. With those cautions in mind, we will now be glad to hear the general comments.
The first one is Mr. George Borrego.
Board President Aguilar, Superintendent Springston, members of the board. This is not a younger and handsomer version of George, although I know it's hard to believe. But George wanted me to convey his regrets. He had a family emergency. He received a phone call a few minutes ago, so George had to leave. We do, as the Association of Brownsville Educators, want to wish all of you and your families very merry and happy and peaceful Easter and Passover, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Pat?
10, closed meeting as pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Section 551074 and 551082A, 12, Level 3 grievance, number 007/09-10, Jose Joe Rodriguez.
That's why they're kicking out.
/09-10, Jose Joe Rodriguez.
Do I have a motion?
A motion to proceed is discussed in executive session.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say nay.
Nay.
Pat?
Item 14, recommend granting approval for the reselling of foreclosed property.
Mr. Sayers?
Move to approve. The question I had was already answered in the.
Do I have motions? I have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. 14, 15 now?
Item
Six-
17, 17, recommend approval of 6 certified and 4 classified positions for Veterans Memorial High School for the 2009-2010 school year.
Ms. Peña?
Oh, yes. What item?
17.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we changed it from 6 to 4. Did we change the?
What's the actual
Yes, ma'am.
agenda item?
Recommend approval of 6 certified and 4 classified positions.
That was in the,
6 and 4.
6 and 4.
The amendments.
it was the way it's amendments.
But the way it says 6 and 4 on here.
It says 6 and 4 anyway.
Yes.
So what are you going to change?
The 3.
The typo.
There was a typo. It said
Oh.
3.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, my question was, but this is going to be for the staff that's going to start off with school year?
That's for
And
the
then,
fund.
depending as to their needs, then later on through the years, they'll just continue to add new staff, correct? Because it's going to be 9th and 10th grade only, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. That's it.
all right. Do I have a motion?
A motion to
I
approve?
second.
Second, those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. Okay.
Item 22, recommend approval of budget amendment 086 in the amount of $570,213 for Fund 279, American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, ARRA, Title II, Part D, Enhancing Education Through Technology, new funding.
Mr. Sayers?
I didn't mean that one. I meant number 23.
Move to approve.
Been,
Second.
motion to approve, been second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say nay. Okay.
Mr. Fisher, sorry.
Sorry you have to wait, Mr. Fisher. We see out there somewhere?
He's back.
I just like to make sure Mr. Fisher is working hard.
Make
That's
sure
all.
you're awake back there.
We like to see once in a while.
And David, it's good to see David working hard too. How you doing, David?
We'll see you, Mitchell.
Sorry, Dave.
Thank you for sticking
Sorry,
around.
Rob. Side only bet for me.
Pat?
Item 23, recommend approval of budget amendment 087 in the amount of $2,300,000 for Fund 199, local maintenance funds, startup funds for Manzano Middle School, local maintenance, unassigned fund balance.
Mr. Sayers?
Yeah, I want a clarification on the unassigned fund balance terminology. Because, man, you're good with terminology. Put all new funding, additional funding, funding of fund funding.
That sounds like something he would say.
I gotta get clear. What's unassigned, local maintenance unassigned fund balance?
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Aguilar and Mr. Springsteen.
Just some background.
Mr. Zines, to answer your question, new this year to our financial accounting resource guide from TEA, they have now revised the fund balance detail. Unassigned is the old unreserved, undesignated.
Okay.
So it's just called unassigned now. There's about 4 other designations, and maybe that's something we'll go through in our next budget committee meeting.
Okay.
Just
So when we do go through this type of explanation, it'll be understood that this unassigned is the unreserved, undesignated.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you, was this, when we did our budget for this fiscal year, did we expect this?
Yes, we did.
Okay. And I thought we did. I just wanted to make sure we had.
This is the startup cost for the middle school. As we presented last board meeting for the high school, this is the middle school, and this for all the instructional, counting your instructional chairs, desks for the students in the classroom, library furniture, anything in the office, computers, telephones, printers, so forth. And then also goes through your extracurricular, which this is middle school, and then into your custodial, so forth.
Okay. I move to approve.
Second.
Been moved and second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Item 25, recommend approval of the Academic Leadership Alliance participation in accordance with the MOU between the Brownsville Chamber of Commerce, the Region 1 Educational Service Center, Tech Prep of the Rio Grande Valley, and Brownsville Independent School District in the amount not to exceed $58,000 from categorical budgeted funds for the 2009-2010 school year. Services to be rendered subject to district needs and funding.
Ms. Peña.
Can I get a little more detail on this?
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Springsteen?
In fact, Ms. Momfiles has been working with this project. Ms. Momfiles?
Mr. President, Mr. Springston, and members of the board. It is externships, so we have middle school career people with the high school career people, and they will be working actually out in the community in different jobs and internships, or as we call them, externships, in the community that will relate to career exploration in order to more entice students and work with them as they look at their career pathways and their different choices when they're going through the career technology plan that they pursue in high school. So this is a project for teachers and possibly counselors, but mostly teachers that will be working in business communities. BISD will pay them their $35 an hour extra duty pay, but they're working out in businesses in the community.
So in essence, it's going to cover salary, but not to exceed the $58,000.
Exactly, and
Okay.
it's not a daily salary. It's the $35 an hour extra duty, just like our summer school teachers get, just like we get for tutorial pay, things like that.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Move to approve.
Been moved to approve. I have a second also. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay.
Item 26, recommend approval of change order number 1 to amend the owner-contractor agreement with Peterson Construction Company, Inc., Los Fresnos, Texas, for the transportation parking lot project in the amount not to exceed $146,518.
Yes, Ms. Garcia.
Yes, on this one, I know that it's a change order and the price did go up from the actual construction cost. But did we stay within the square footage of the cost of the concrete from originally when the bid came in?
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
is there a change within price range?
No, ma'am. When the original bids went out, the scope of the job, the price of concrete, the price of steel was so high that we didn't think that we were going to be able to do a certain square footage length on the construction of that project. Once we got the bids in, we noticed that the concrete prices and the steel prices had gone down so much that we actually saved, what was it, 1.2 million, approximately in that area. So we looked at the scope of the job and saw that we could add that front end of the entrance of the parking lot and add it to the areas that we had already cemented in for the buses. So actually what was happening was that we had buses pulling into a parking lot that had dips and bumps into it, and they were driving onto a pad that we had just put in on the original bid of the scope of the job. So with the extra funding, we looked at it and said, you know, we can save on buses, we could save on the maintenance of buses, and we could add the square footage to this, and the exact square footage of what we paid for the concrete and the steel is the exact same price what we paid for the extra square footage to put the front end in.
Okay. Okay, and that was my only question, to see if we were within the actual bidding price range.
No, his thing.
Yeah, my question was, I already had asked you earlier, Mike, but I'll ask you again just so we have it on the record. I noticed that the price differential is a 21.5% change. I know that there's some statutes in the local government code that if it, you told me it's 25%, I found out now. Because if it's over 25%, I didn't know what the number was, I didn't know it was 20, 25.
We'd have to go out for another
We'd
bid.
have to go out for bid, and I know that even if we did approve something over 25%, it actually becomes criminal on our side. And I did the calculation, I came up with 21.5%. I know it's an affirmative defense to us on a criminal matter that we had legal counsel say it was okay, so I'm asking you to make sure that we have it on the record that it's all right.
Yes, sir, Mr. Sias, Mr. President, Mr. Springton. I did provide that little memo to you that I got from our construction department out of the San Antonio office, Miss Winnie Dominguez, who indicated to me that it is out of the government code. 21% falls within the range of not having to go out for bids. Additionally, in the past, there's been some questions as to whether this part of the local government code applied to school districts. That interpretation has already gone to the Texas Education Agency, and the audit department of the Texas Education Agency has approved that section of the government code as being applicable to school districts. So you're safe, Mr. Sass.
Okay, thank you. I move to approve.
Has been moved to approve. Being second, Ms. Peña. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay.
12, closed meeting as pursuant to Texas Government Code, Section 551071, 551072, 551074, 551082, and 551084. 9:15.
We're now back in regular meeting. Pat.
Three left.
Mr. Cortez.
I'd like to make a motion to approve 29, 30, 33, 34, 35, and 36.
Second.
It's been a move that we approve all those numbers.
And 37?
37?
We should take that one up separately.
Okay, all right. Down to 35, Pat?
Through
Up to 36.
36. Okay.
29, 30, 33, 34,
35,
35, and 36.
Do I have a second? Been second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Okay. 37.
Move to approve.
Been
Second.
moved to approve. Second by Ms. Peña. Those in favor say aye.
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 Those against say nay. Okay. There's no consultation with the attorney. Number 13th. Announcements?
Announcements, sir.
Okay, I'm trying to remember everything that we've just gone through tonight.
Did he say 13?
Announcements, sir. When's our next meeting?
Our next meeting is
Yes, sir.
the 6th of April, and don't forget that we will be off of school the Friday and the Monday before, Monday the 5th, and April the 2nd. So, good night.
There's another announcement. It's just a reminder. A few months ago, I asked you to select someone they wanted to work in a committee in setting up a teacher's motivation memorial. And according to Pat, no one has ever turned in a name. I do have around 12 or 15 people already. However, still the invitation is still open. If you need, excuse me, Dr. Escobedo, you have two.
Yes, I've turned in, I've submitted.
You had A-Rod Rodriguez and
Judy Rodriguez.
right. Yeah, that's
and
right.
that's the only name that I had submitted.
Yeah.
But I'll submit another one if there's still time.
Anyone that would like to.
Yeah, I
give
have
to
some.
Pat
I'll give 'em to
because
Pat.
I want to have the committee meeting during Teacher Appreciation Week.
Okay, I'll
10
turn them in
April.
tonight.
On the same line of submitting names, have we submitted all of our names for the insurance
Ad
ad
hoc?
hoc committee?
Yeah, that's another thing about insurance
Where are we
committee.
at with that one?
We have not submitted all names yet.
I had to my two.
I need one employee, but I do have my doctor in insurance person. Can we get on with it as quickly as possible, guys? And give the names to, again, Pat, so we can activate that committee because we're dragging our feet, really.
There we are.
We are. So let's work on it. Mr. Cortez.
Mr. Hilaria, I just wanted to ask administration, I know that there was talk, Mr. Fuller, I heard Mr. Springston say there was going to be a budget meeting in the upcoming week or the week to follow.
Right.
I just wanted to see if at that budget meeting they can include discussing with us the bilingual stipend and the chess program.
Okay.
Added as
You get
topics
those,
of discussion
Antonio?
for that budget meeting.
Did you get those?
Fernando, I mean
Got that,
Antonio.
Fred?
Fred,
Yeah.
did you get that, sir? All right.
Thank you, Mr. Fred.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
Being second, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay.
Good night, Brownsville.